So these fees travelers paid to use these roads help offset the construction costs.
Offset?
Many other roads had banks of crushed stones and areas where the land were often muddy. Companies built corduroy roads consisting of roads locked side by side on the ridges like corduroy cloth. You know what corduroy cloth is?
I do.
Imagine this, 5 times bigger. Deep ridges. I used to wear them. You don't. Woo, girl. Anyway. Pioneers from New York and Philadelphia began the trip from the west of the Lancaster Turnpike, built in 1790 from Philadelphia to Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Lancaster?
Yes. From there, they could continue west on dirt roads to Pittsburgh and then switch to the barge and sail down the Ohio River towards Ohio and Kentucky.
Kentucky?
When Ohio joined the Union in 1803, the new states asked the federal government to build a road to connect to the east. In 1806, Congress approved funds for the National Road to the west and agreed on the route 5 years later. Because work on the road stopped during the War of 1812, the first section of Maryland to western Virginia did not open until 1818. And years later, the National Road reached Ohio and continued on to Vandalia, Illinois. Congress viewed the National Road as a military necessity, but it did not understand other roads being building projects. Because see, what happened is the turnpikes that we talked about earlier, they have charged a fee for construction, but now we realize, we need some national roads too. We need some free roads.
Free roads?
National roads is free roads. It's already paid for by the government. Yes, we are. Okay, rivers travel. Because you know what happened with turnpikes. You know how you get to the house? You know how your river's far. So how are you going to get the goods from the river to your house?
My house?
Well, you got to get a road. How are we going to pay for this road? That's what the turnpike is for.
The turnpikes are for that?
That's just for turnpike.
That's what they're for.
Okay, river travel. Now, river travel was to find advantages over wagon and horse travel. It was far more comfortable than travel along the bumpy roads.
Ooh, that's the truth.
Yes, and pioneers could load all their goods on river barges if they were heading downstream in the direction of the current.
The current.
The current. Oh. Now, river travel had 2 problems. However, the first revealed to be geographically of the eastern United States. Most major rivers in the region follow in the north-south direction.
Not the east.
To the west. Where most people and goods were headed. So what good were these that they went north and south when we need to go east and west? What's up with that? So you know what they had to do? Second traveling upstream by barge against the current was extremely difficult and slow.
Slow, I tell you.
So the steamboats, girl. Now, steam engines were already being used in the 1780s and 1790s to power boats in quiet waters.
Remember like it was yesterday.
The investor James Rumsey equipped a small boat on the Potomac River with a steam engine, and David Finch, another inventor, built a steamboat that will navigate the Delaware River.
Navigate.
Mm-hmm.
Navigate.
Now, neither of these boats, however, had enough power to withstand the strong currents and shifting winds found in the large rivers on bodies
of water.
Yes.
Water, I say.
Whew. So in 1802, Robert Livingston, a political and business leader, hired Robert Fulton.
That's his name?
Yes, it was. To develop a steamboat with a powerful engine. So Robert Fulton, he developed that big steamboat. Okay. Now, to develop a steamboat with a powerful engine, Livingston wanted the steamboat to carry cargo and passengers.
Where was it?
Where did they want to go? Up the Hudson River. From New York City to Albany. That's what I'm talking. Whew. Now, do you understand all that? What the steamboats was all about?
I'm getting it. I'm understanding it.
What about the turnpikes?
The turnpikes, man.
National roads.
I'm learning it.
Okay, let's go. Let's go.
It's
Let's
coming
keep
in.
going. Okay.
Now we gotta go to more about steamboats.
Okay. In 1807, Fullerton had his steamboat, the Clermont,
Claremont.
ready for a trial.
That's what it was named.
Powered by the newly designed engine,
Newly designed.
the Clermont made a 150-mile trip
150 miles.
from New York to Albany in an upward of time of 32 hours.
32.
Using only sails, the ship's wow had taken 4 days.
4 days, I tell you.
Yeah, so they went from 4 days to 32 hours.
32.
About 140
32.
feet long. That's a big boat.
That's
And
huge.
14 feet wide. The Clermont offered great comfort to its passengers. They could sit or stroll on the deck.
Stroll.
And at night, they could relax in the sleeping compartment below deck. You hear that?
I got it.
The engine was noisy, but its power provided a fairly smooth ride.
Smooching.
Steamboats usher in a new area in the river travel. They dramatically improved the transport of goods and passengers along major inland rivers. Shipping goods became cheaper and faster. Steamboats are also contributing to the growth of the river cities like Cincinnati and St. Louis.
Cincinnati.
Woo! Now, that's what we know about steamboats. And
Now
let's
let's
read
go
about
to-
turnpike. Let's read about canals.
Canals.
Although steamboats represent a
Transportation.
great improvement in transportation, their routes depended on existing river system. Steamboats could not effectively tie the eastern and the western part of the countries together. You know
Because they're
that?
so big.
I know. So in New York, business and government official DeWitt
Okay.
Clinton, you gotta write that down, DeWitt Clinton, remember him,
Remember.
came up with a plan to link New York City with the Great Lakes region. They would build a canal. They built a canal. Yes, they did.
canal, man.
An artificial waterway across the New York State connecting Albany to the Hudson River with Boston on the Lake Erie.
Lake Erie, I tell you.
Clinton declared the canal would create the greatest inland trade ever
Greatest
witnessed.
witness.
So, the Erie Canal was built because DeWitt Clinton came up with a plan to link New York City.
He wanted to link, man.
They
Get
would
it together.
Yes. So, you know what a canal is?
I'm getting
A
it. Is it
man-made river.
a man-made?
Whew, yes.
Man-made.
Building the Erie Canal. Let's feel how they built this Erie Canal.
But what about the women?
Women worked at home. They took care. They provided the food, made the clothes. Thousands of laborers, many of them Irish immigrants.
Irish.
Yes, worked on the construction of the 360 what?
Miles.
3 miles of Erie Canal. Along the canal, they built the series of locks, separate compartments where water levels were raised or lowered.
Lowered?
Yes.
Lowered.
Locks provided a way to raise or lower boats where canal levels